Hello everyone. Hope you are doing great and studying well. In this video, we are going to study chapter number 4, Heat. First of all, we should know what is heat. Heat is a form of energy which makes a body hot. Greater the heat content, hotter will be the body. It means the more heat you provide to a body, the hotter it becomes. Heat always dissipates from its source into its surroundings, making the surrounding hot. It means heat always spreads in all the directions. This is the reason why the surroundings get hot. Now, we should know about what is the source of heat. Anything that produces heat becomes its source. Example, sun, candle, gasoline, fire, etc. Now, what do you understand by the term hot and cold? When a body possesses heat energy, it tends to become hot, and when a body loses heat energy, it becomes cold. Normally, we feel hotness or coldness of objects by touching them. But our sense of touch is not always reliable. The most reliable measure of hotness and coldness of an object is its temperature. Now, what is temperature? Temperature determines the hotness or coldness of an object. A hot object has a higher temperature, whereas a cold object has a lower temperature. It can be measured by a device called thermometer. The unit of measuring temperature which is widely used is degree Celsius. There are some other units also to measure the temperature, such as Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Now, the boiling temperature of water is 100 degrees Celsius and the freezing temperature of water is 0 degree Celsius. Now, the temperature scales are related to each other and can be converted from one scale to another scale by using the formula given as follows. Degree Celsius upon 100 is equals to degree Fahrenheit minus 32 upon 180 is equals to Kelvin minus 273 upon 100. Now, if we want to convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit into degree Celsius, we can take up the formula as degree Celsius upon 100 is equals to Fahrenheit minus 32 upon 180. Or when we want to convert Fahrenheit into Kelvin or Kelvin into Fahrenheit, we can take degree Fahrenheit minus 32 upon 180 is equals to Kelvin minus 273 upon 100. And similarly, if we want to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin, we can take degree Celsius upon 100 is equals to K minus 273 upon 100. In this formula, degree C represents degree Celsius, F represents degree Fahrenheit, and K represents Kelvin. Now, we should know how the temperature is measured. So, to measure the temperature, we use a device which is called as thermometer. Thermometer word is made up of two words, thermo, which means heat, and meter, which means to measure. There are basically two types of thermometer, laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. So let us discuss about clinical thermometer. Clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human body. It consists of a long, narrow and thin glass tube with a glass bulb at one end. The glass bulb contains mercury. Glass tube has a kink or constriction. This kink prevents the backflow of mercury, which makes a doctor to use this thermometer in an easy way. That is, when he has to measure the temperature of his patient's body, he can remove the thermometer away from the patient's body and can measure the temperature, as this constriction or the kink prevent the mercury from backflowing. The Celsius scale on this thermometer is from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Here is the diagram of a clinical thermometer. Now, we should learn about laboratory thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature of any hot object in the laboratories. It consists of long, narrow and thin glass tube with a glass bulb at one end. The glass bulb contains mercury and there is no kink in the mercury column. It means whenever we remove the thermometer from the hot object, the mercury falls down immediately. So this is the reason we have to measure or read the temperature while the laboratory thermometer is still in contact with the object. It can measure temperature from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the difference between a clinical thermometer and a laboratory thermometer? First difference is that laboratory thermometer has a wider range, whereas the clinical thermometer has a shorter range. As I told you earlier that a laboratory thermometer can measure the temperature from minus 10 degrees Celsius up to 110 degrees Celsius, whereas a clinical thermometer can measure from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Laboratory thermometer are used in the laboratories while doing some experiments or to measure the temperature during the reactions, whereas the clinical thermometers can be used at homes, hospitals and clinics. Laboratory thermometer do not have any kink in the mercury column, whereas the clinical thermometer has a kink in the mercury column. Laboratory thermometers are used in the scientific fields, whereas the clinical thermometer can be used by almost anybody. These are the difference between the laboratory thermometer and a clinical thermometer. Thank you for watching the video.